city of Toronto allowed the raising of the Pan-African flag, the red, black, and green flag, the flag of the UNIA, the flag of Messiah Garvey, over City Hall in Toronto. And how long was it there for?
4 days.
4 days. So that's what's up.
First time in Canadian history.
First time. So you see in the bulletin right here, you know, say Garvey's last visit there was in 1938. You know what I mean? So the red, black, and green wasn't official there again until 2016 when Brother Whitley raised the flag. So because of that, you know what I'm saying, we got the blessings from our President General and the parent body to go up there and participate and show support to that effort. And I just want to say again, and we want to make sure that we say thank you and commemorate by officially giving you this certificate, which we'll frame at a later date. I say. Okay. Oh, picture time? Okay, we can take pictures. We don't have it. Handshake.
Get a flag in it for
sure. Yeah, that would make sense, right? Yeah, because the flag raising here in Buffalo is not quite. It's not quite. It doesn't quite hold quite the same. You know what I mean? This right here was participated in by African people all throughout the city of Toronto. You know what I mean? And there was different groups, different individuals, and I mean you could see the camaraderie and the fellowship, man. It was amazing. So just one more time, how long was it there for?
That is for 4 days.
Just tell them the thing.
All right. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to recognize me in this capacity. It's a true honor to receive something in the name of Marcus Garvey, given by people who have vigilantly maintained that course of action of the Garvey movement. I happen to just fall into place in this role. And a lot of times, you know, there are people out there who have true thinking. There are people out there who are waiting to be activated. All right. There are people out there who are hearing messages on things to do, but they don't have the community to actually execute it. And you know, one of my favorite quotes from Mr. Frederick Douglass says, and I just, if I may say, with me and God is a majority. And so that's how I walk. Right? I walk that, you know, and that's why I approach very improbable, impossible situations with a certain kind of zeal, because I know that I'm lined up for it. But I wasn't connected with the base, so I had to reach out to the base because I needed to keep it authentic. I knew that this was not for show. This is a spiritual movement. This was almost a reawakening of, you know, people who have stood with Marcus Garvey when he probably spoke those words, who have been waiting to be activated, right? And I think it's our generation's, one of our greatest responsibilities is to activate those who have so much still to give and have just been separated from the movement because the movement has gone dormant. And if it wasn't for, you know, Brother Lyon and this Buffalo community even bringing us in here together so that we can see how much we have in common, so we can see the opportunity of how to be able to grow our cities and leave the communities that we're in much more empowered, much more organized, much more financially sound and equipped to be able to make investments and be able to make things their own. So what happened in Toronto was not a one-time thing. People are committed to making sure that the flag flies all month long in August. And just to give you a little bit of history of Canadian history, as well as all Caribbean and anything under British rule. All right. On August 1st, 1834, the British wrote a Slavery Abolition Act, okay, and made all people black of descent free. All right. So August is a celebration of that, August 1st. And so for, I don't know, hundreds of years, almost 200 years, we've celebrated August 1st, and then that's it. Okay. So this flag raising was supposed to commemorate this August 1st. And I invite you all to consider putting on your calendar August 1st, where we actually have a train in Toronto. We take like the general train system, and we reserve one train just for us. And this train starts at the very bottom of our subway system, and where we have a big we have libations, and right there in the subway station, right, hundreds of us, we go into the train and we take that train all the way up to the very top of our subway system, and we actually have an elder who is the conductor in honor of our elder Harry Tubman, and we have poetry and we have drumming, and the train does not stop on any stop. It goes all the way up. So all the people who were just watching this train full of black people, they get to experience something that they never expected to see. But the point is, this flag raising was supposed to commemorate that. But because the city kept giving me trouble in getting that reserved, I had to keep pushing my date back. And we had to settle for August 28th, all right, which is 27 days away from the original day of intent. But this is why I'm trying to tell you, the ancestors are leading us. Messiah Garvey and our ancestors are leading us. We just have to be bold, because I found out that August 28th was the actual day that the British signed that Slavery Abolition Act, but it was a year prior. So a year prior, on August 28th, they signed the agreement, but they didn't enforce it until August 1st. So just like that, we went from having one day of Emancipation Day to now we have August as Emancipation Month in Canada. And so the red, black, and green is going to be flowing. Very, very proud of the nation. Thank you for being part of that moment with me. And we're not done. We're not done.
I also know he also ran for mayor. He's a mayoral candidate.
Two-time mayoral candidate. Yeah, so
He's working on 3.
And working on 2022. Better believe it. And I'll tell you what, one of the most powerful things you said so far, that I'm taking note from you, Brother Lion, is that government has to take care of our people. Right? And so this is what makes this so important. This meeting is that we are heads of state, heads of government, heads, and who are responsible for people. And I think and that's what Marcus Garvey wanted us to understand, that we need to govern, lead, and control our own destiny.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. So, just real quick, this actual certificate was donated just recently to the Smithsonian by